This is the Hope Not Nope podcast,
where we answer your questions and share inspirational stories to fill your soul with hope.
Our mission is to empower hope to those who have been plagued by nope.
I'm Dr. Dylan Caswell.
And I'm Brandy.
And we're here to bring you out of the nope and into hope.
Welcome to the Hope Not Nope podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week's question is from a listener named Sasha. Hi, Sasha.
Hi, Sasha.
She says, I put in all the training, and then when it comes to game time, I freak out and thoughts run through my head like, I'm not ready for this and I'm going to embarrass myself out there. I'm wondering, do you have any coaching that you can provide that will help me get rid of those thoughts?
Well, let's go, Sasha.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
That's basically like performance anxiety, right? Is that what you would classify it as? Potentially?
Potentially. Yeah. It would definitely fall in that umbrella for sure. And yeah, I mean, we've worked with athletes that have this all the time, whether it's the pre-game vomiting.
Yeah. Josh Allen does that.
The needing to have the hair perfect before you get out there. Like every athlete has this little thing that is there, that little thing, that little doubt factor that they have to overcome. And when you overcome that is when, in my opinion, when greatness is reached in this. So do we have tips for this, Sasha? Yes, I would love to give some tips for this. And first, I appreciate that you said I put in all the training. And when athletes say that, I have to ask the question, what does that training look like? Because I believe you. I believe that you're putting in the work. But what does the practice environment look like? The reason being is that we've talked about this so many times, but the brain works by prediction. And part of that prediction is taking in all of the sensory input that it's getting from the environment externally and then from the environment internally. So a quick example that I can give of this, of the internal environment, is what is your heart rate at and your blood pressure while you're doing game planning or training? What does that look like? Because a lot of basketball players, for example, that struggle with free throw shooting, they're like, no, I practice foul shots all the time. Well, do you practice them when your legs are completely fatigued, feeling like jello? Do you practice them when your heart is pounding out of your chest? Do you practice them in high pressure situations? Are you practicing them with your coach screaming, saying that if you miss this, we're running sprints again? Like that environment of training is going to translate a little bit better into game time environments, because your brain's going to go, oh, we've been here before. We've done this before. I faced a high pressure situation and I was able to be successful in it. It also makes it more practical. I sticking with basketball for a little bit here, of people working on like just their jump shot. And like, oh, I'm working on my jump shot all the time. I go to the elbow, take a shot. I go over to the other one, go to the elbow. Like, is that how you play the game? Yeah. Like, no, you are running off of screens. You're running baseline. You're cutting. You're jab stepping. You're getting open. Like, you have to move like that, then get the ball and hit the jump shot, right? And there is an exception to this. Like, the exception would be you don't have the jump shot down to begin with. Yeah. But I'm just assuming if you're asking this level of question, it's because you have the fundamentals down.
Yeah, this isn't like a sixth grader probably asking the question.
Right. Like, first step, can you do the things that your sport requires? And it seems like, yes, you do. Now, can we start to change the training environment to make it more successful to translate to game time situations?
Yeah, they should do it like we watched the older movie 17 again, where like they literally have a blowhorn in their face as they were shooting free throws. Like maybe you need something like that, because you never know when a blowhorn is gonna go off. I don't know if you saw sorry for the tangent, but I don't know if you saw recently there was a baseball pitcher who was about to start pitching, and then it thundered and it like startled him. Right. And then he, what's it called? A balk or something?
Balk, yeah.
So he like, that sucks, but it's like you should be able to play through like that distraction and that like.
Yeah, it freaked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, you're not going to be able to prepare for everything.
Right.
It's just trying to say, like, what factors can I prepare for that are the most likely in these situations. But that ended up being, wasn't that the game-winning run? Like, he balked and the guy got home, and it was like
it might have been
walk off from Mother Nature.
Yeah.
It was the jumbo shrimp.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did we just watch?
We're just on in Syracuse. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if they're the winning team or the losing team, but I know it was the jumbo
That was one
shrimp
of
because I
them.
remember reading the caption. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, Sasha, so this is something we use too in returning to sports for an athlete that has had an injury
Mm,
before. Like, awesome, you showed me that you can jump, hop, cut, do all the things you need to do to be a good athlete in a clinical setting. That doesn't match to what you can do on the field. So let's go to the field and let's see what that looks like, right? If it's softball, like, okay, I'm going to give you challenging grounders. Oh, you're a high level athlete. I bet you're diving for balls. Show me
mhm,
that you can dive for one. Show me you can get up and whip this thing across the infield or throw someone out at third or at home. Like, show me that you can do this stuff, and so that we can fully bridge that gap back to sport. Basketball, great. You passed the hop test. Great. You ran. You don't have pain. Awesome. Can you play someone one on one?
mhm,
All right, did that go successful? Now let's go to 2 on 2. Now there's four people on the court. That was great, cool. 3 on 3. All right, 4 on 4. Now 5 on 5. Like increasing the variables that are more out of your control to learn how you can be in control in a more uncontrollable environment. Like
mhm,
you have to make sure the practice environment is game like.
mhm,
And another interesting example, switching from softball, basketball to baseball, there's really cool research on when professional pitchers are pitching at home, their heart rates are actually higher
mm.
than when they're on the road.
Wow.
And the likelihood of that, or the hypothesis, is that they are a little bit more nervous
Mm,
because they're in front of their home fans. They're probably more so in front of family,
mm,
and the pressure to perform has been increased. So their heart rate's actually higher at home, where you think like, oh, like they'd be more excited, and they are
right, or
more
it's like more of a comfortable
more
environment.
comfortable
Yeah.
environment. But it's like, no, I have more pressure to perform now. I'm on the
Wow.
road. Like, one, it might be heckling.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, oh, I just got to prove to them that I can do it. At home, it's like you don't want to let them down,
Sure.
and that adds another factor to it. But to where we started this with performance anxiety, we got to turn it into performance excitement. And that's what these pitchers and really great athletes have learned to do, is to say, hey, I'm not anxious. I am excited about this because physiologically they feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
They feel the same. Anxiety, it just might be more that it's coming from an unknown source that you can't pinpoint. Where excitement, you can say, I'm excited for the game. So if there's anxiety, you have to change that to go, no, I'm prepared. I've done all that I can to prepare for this. What I'm feeling is excitement
Mm-hmm.
to go perform. And that is a really cool feeling, because I don't think the performance excitement ever goes away. And when it potentially does, I think that's when people retire
Mm.
from it because they're not getting the spark from it anymore. It's not, they almost come apathetic
Mm-hmm.
to it. But like pre-aim in the tunnel before running out in the field, there's that like butterfly in the gut that
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, like really jacked up right now. Like, let's go.
Right. Well, it's like when you get married, you see on like the movies or whatever, like, oh, are you nervous? They whisper to the groom before the bride comes down or vice versa. And a groom shouldn't be nervous on their wedding day. A bride shouldn't be nervous on their wedding day. Like it is their wedding day for crying out loud. But it's that like that gut feeling,
Yeah.
right? And it really we mask nervousness or we label it as nervousness or anxiety, but really it is excitement.
Yeah.
And so think of your sport like the wedding day. Like there's so much certainty walking into your wedding day. You're not nervous, you're excited, but you just might have previously labeled excitement as nervousness or anxiety. It's the same thing with sport.
Yeah.
Like start rephrasing this nervousness and anxiety into excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. So look at your practice environment and say, is my practice environment somewhat similar to what I'm going to be facing during the game,
Hmm.
right? And then how can you set up that environment to make it more like that, both externally and internally? Because again, performing under fatigue, performing under excitement is
Hmm.
different than walking into a practice and going, it's just a practice.
Yeah.
Like your movements change, the pressure in your head change, like it all changes. So make sure your practice environment at some point doesn't have to be every single day, but make sure at some point it is mimiking that. We see it in pro sports all the time, the use of speakers.
Mhm.
for either music or to create noises or to try to mimic the environment that they're going to be going into. So that is first thing I would say, look at the practice environment. How do you set it up to be more game-like? That goes a long way. But I'm going to get into deeper points,
Okay.
right? Because Sasha, what you're saying, I'm not ready for this. I'm going to embarrass myself. I'm not able to do this. Like all of these statements are the statements of I'm not enough, which are statements of nope, which means that you are not created to have those thoughts. Those thoughts have been placed upon you at some point in your life, whether it was a parent, whether it was a coach, whether it was a teammate, whether it was a friend, wherever it was, at some point you got rejected. And you face that nope, but now you've maybe become afraid of failure. You've become afraid of rejection. You've become afraid of the idea of being isolated. And the thought of failing in your sport in front of the people that you love is bringing up the thoughts of becoming isolated, which is a scary place to be in. But we got to deconstruct that nope. Because again, we are not born with those thoughts of not being enough, of not being loved, of being alone. Like those are put into us from the world. We have to deconstruct that. We have to replace that nope with hope. We have to reconnect your brain to the truth that the mind was created with because the brain and the mind are not the same thing. They're not synonymous with each other. The mind is different than the brain. The mind is meant to understand the truth, is meant to help you have intellect and understand reasoning. The brain is meant to budget your energy. It's meant to keep you alive. It's the commander of the body. It holds on to memories, the things that the world has told it. We have to deconstruct those. We have to get rid of those. We have to go back to when you were a kid, prior to that rejection, prior to that failure, when you thought that you were invincible. I think of our niece, and the first time I met her on Brandy's side, and she said, I'm so strong, I could go pick up that rock over there. And it was a boulder. And I didn't go, no, you can't.
Yeah.
You're weak.
She was literally like, I'm the strongest person in the
I'm the
world.
strongest person in the world. I'm like,
Yes, you are, 6-year-old.
like you go, girl. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to go pick up that rock to show me because I want you to keep that mentality. Like that is awesome, right? And like at some point we all had that, right? It just gets lost at different points for us. If we can deconstruct and get back to that, I'm not saying be careless and go try to lift a fire truck or anything like that, but just know that you are loved and you are not defined by the successes in your sport. You got to find some certainty. We got to deconstruct the nope. We got to get back to the truth of hope.
Yeah.
So replace the nope with hope.
Yeah.
And then that goes into the third point.
Hope, not nope.
Hope, not nope, is to reflect because the brain is meant to remember the things that were dangerous, that threatened our life, that changed our energy budgeting. And when we face something that puts us into survival mode, the brain wants to remember that because it's a threat to its being. In that, the brain has a much better grasp on hanging on to those experiences than the times that you were successful. So you walk out of a test and you go, I didn't do so well. I think I failed it. And then you get the results back and you get a 90. Why does that happen? The brain didn't remember the good. It remembered what threatened you and not the test, but what the test stands for, right? Because if you fail that test and you can't move on to the next thing, well, now you got rejected and now it's back to failure. Now it's back to isolation. So we need to start remembering all the times that you've been successful in your sport or in your life, whatever that may be. But whatever sport it is, let's say it's like you're a pitcher and you got the yips, or you're a batter in baseball and you're just in a slump right now. You're in volleyball and you can't spike a ball, you can't serve a ball in bounds, like whatever it may be. At some point you did, and at some point you were successful. Pull up that game film, pull up that game that you absolutely crushed it in, pull it up, watch it, write the notes as to what you look like, how you played, the composure that you had, your body language. And I would repeat that. over and over and over again until your brain starts to go, I can do this.
Mhm.
I I am enough. I put the work in. I'm ready to go put it out there. And if we're successful, awesome. If not, I'm still successful because I put all that work in and I'm still loved and I am enough. So, Sasha, thank you
Mhm.
for that question. It gets me fired up because that's what the entire book
Yeah.
is of Hope Not Nope. And if you are interested in that, like DM us and we will send you a copy of it so you can go through it and understand this stuff to the next level and start to implement these things because it is so important. And to me, that's where there's the biggest loss of potential, not just in sports, but in society,
Mhm.
is that when we start to believe the no and start to believe that we're not enough, so we don't take the chance, we don't go for that extra thing, we don't push ourselves because it doesn't matter because we're not enough and we're not going to be able to do it anyway. Like, no, and it's not your fault, but it is if you don't deconstruct it.
Mhm.
Because we all are going to face nope.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't, yeah, you will. Like there's certain things we can't guarantee in life, and that this is one that we can guarantee. At some point, you are going to get rejected.
Mhm.
Like God's only Son
Yeah.
came here to save us, and he got rejected
Mhm.
time and time and time again from his hometown, from his own people. Like he got rejected. If he got rejected, well, we're probably going to get rejected at some point as well.
Mhm.
But what makes you different is how you handle that rejection and where you find your certainty and where you find that you are enough. And that's what's going to set you apart. And that's what sets people apart in society is that they understand the nope. They understand they're going to face it and it hurts. Like I'm not downplaying that it doesn't hurt when you face that rejection or failure and you put it like everything into it. Like that's very frustrating. But what you do with that
Mhm.
is going to determine the character. It's going to determine that you are able to live out the plan that has been written for you.
Yeah. One of the biggest side effects to facing nope is that it becomes a reason or an excuse for you to settle and live a life less than what you were created to live. And God didn't create you to live a less than life. He created you to live a life of abundance. And yes, we're talking about performance and you going out to play your sport, but it's life in general. It's life as a whole. If you're carrying these thoughts in your mind to the field, you're going to also be carrying them
Mhm.
outside of the sport as well. And so to really reflect on that and to reflect on do you want to like I don't even want to say play it safe because I don't think when you have nope you're playing it safe. I think you're really just like crumbling in a lot of ways. Do you want to overcome that nope and deconstruct it and replace it with hope? Can you have self-agency? Can you establish goals? Can you have the right frameworks in place to achieve those goals? That's what hope is. That's what your life can be about, and this life can be full of abundance and you're worthy of that. Drop the mic.
Mic drop.
So a little recap. I guess I kind of did in what I just said, but just to recap again, is it performance anxiety or is it performance excitement?
Mhm.
And what is your practice environment? How are you making the most of your practice environment in order to set yourself up for more excitement versus anxiety? Identify the nope, the areas of rejection and hurt, and the thoughts of less than and not being enough. Deconstruct that and reflect and replace it with hope and read the book.
Beautiful. Nice recap.
Thank you. Do you have a hope story you'd like to share?
Oh, I have one. So I love this quote, and it comes from Bishop Robert Barron, who said, "The greatest sin is taking ourselves too seriously."
Mm.
And that doesn't mean be a clown all the time. It doesn't mean just like sit around being the jokester doing nothing. It just means that like, hey, this process should be fun. Like there should be joy in it. There's suffering, but there's joy, right? And Sasha, the reason I'm sharing this hope story is because I just want you to remind yourself too of like, have some joy.
Mm.
Enjoy what you're doing. Like being absolutely on fire for something that you love is an absolute privilege to have. And there's going to be times of strain, there's going to be times of suffering, but like you can stay joyful in that because like it's what you're meant to be doing, right? But I love that quote of one of the greatest sins is taking ourselves too seriously and not taking a step back and looking at it and having a laugh once in a while. And we've been in a very busy season of life and of work with a lot of different things happening. And in those moments, I got a text message from my brother who just always seems to know when to send these messages. And it's hysterical because it's not a like, hey, take a step back and enjoy. But it's like, hey, bro, know you're super busy right now. Know you guys are busier than ever. Um, when you get a chance, Quarterbacks season 2 is on Netflix, and Kirk Cousins is the most unintentionally funny dude I've ever watched in my life. So when you get a chance, like, make sure that you watch it.
Which we have been.
Which we have been. But to me, it was the reminder of like, oh yeah, we can take a step back and have a laugh and watch this thing that we love, right?
Yeah.
So Sasha, you know, whatever your sport is, like if it's softball, go to a softball game.
Yeah.
Go to a youth softball game or a high school softball game, whatever. Like just go to a joyful game. Go watch T-ball. T-ball's hysterical. Like that is one of the funniest, most entertaining sports. Like we got banana ball and we got T-ball.
Yeah.
And to me, equal entertainment from those two. So you know, find joy. Go remind yourself of the things that you love and just don't. Yes, take your training seriously, but overall, just don't take yourself too seriously all the time.
Yeah. I love it.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. Thank you for listening. Have a great week. And remember, every day is not just a day to be hopeful, but an opportunity to become hope.
The Hope Not Know podcast is meant for educational, informational, and personal development purposes only and does not constitute any health or medical advice. If you're looking for specific advice, connect with us to work with a Hope coach. The Hope Not Know podcast shall not be liable or responsible for any loss or damage allegedly arising from any information or suggestions in this podcast.